Russ.
The only thing that I have to report this week is last night we had a LAFCO meeting, and I'm proud to report that we have a brand new chairman, a guy with very little experience in the matters, but Tom Tryon is our chairman. Did a great job as usual.
So there.
We were out.
So you guys didn't do much.
We were out.
Thank God the rest of the commissioners aren't here to comment on that.
Well, miracles can happen.
Yes.
Good news.
No, we did an in-depth discussion of the grand jury's comments about the action of LAFCO.
And the commissioners all agreed that all LAFCO commissioners should be deified and treated accordingly.
This was the net result of it?
Deified or DUI'd?
Yeah.
That concludes my report, Madam Chair.
I'll be at the Parks and Rec Commission. I have Calaveras Public Power Agency. I have a homeowners meeting I'm talking to, and a Rotary meeting I'm talking to. Two things. One, I forgot last week, but Assembly Bill 811 is temporarily off the table. That's the one where people can do energy retrofit, borrow the money through the consortium that we're hoping to join, California Communities, pay it back on their property tax bill. Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae are saying that puts the mortgage in a secondary role, that the repayment on the property tax bill is inappropriate. It makes it weak. So all Berkeley, Sonoma, which has a leading program, Placer, they've all stopped lending money for the program until it can be worked out. Governor Schwarzenegger, League of California Cities, California State Association of Counties are all opposing this change, and they're trying to work with the administration and Senator Boxer's office on getting it changed. So it's right now it is off the table. I'm giving this to Jim. The Brown Act acts on the reimbursement where we can meet in other locations.
Oh, yeah.
We don't have to adjourn and we don't have to reconvene. We can say that we are going to meet in Arnold or Copper or Railroad Flat. I kind of thought, but we had to put an ordinance together on that.
Right. The Brown Act now requires that you meet at the county seat.
That's correct,
unless
there's an ordinance to the contrary.
No, the Brown Act requires that you meet at the county seat.
Oh.
But
have to.
One county, Sierra County, has 2 population centers, and what they've done to deal with it is they meet at the county seat one week, and then they adjourn to the other town 2 weeks later.
Right.
I think that's what she's talking about.
Yeah, but we can put an ordinance together saying that we can have our meetings in locations other than the county seat.
Right.
I mean, we've talked about it before. There hasn't been support on the board for doing it, but doesn't mean that times haven't changed and we couldn't do it at some point. If nothing else, I just thought maybe we could put something together if there's board support on that.
So is that the pleasure of the board?
Is that the pleasure of the board?
I would support that.
I would support it.
I would not. I think the board should meet at county government. If we're going to start doing a dog and pony show throughout the county, that puts an additional cost On meetings, staff has to show up. We have to have background. TVs have to show up. You have to get notice to everybody, because some people will show up here because it's a regularly scheduled meeting. We can always have study sessions or just public meetings. But as far as having board take action on agenda items, we got a drag county council and the administrative office up there, officers up there to wherever we're going. I don't have any problem meeting every Tuesday in Government Center in the Board of Supervisors chambers, and I don't think that's an inconvenience for the citizens. To me, it's just.
Are you referring to these proceedings as a dog and pony show? Is that what you said?
No, I said if you want to go around the county doing, holding Board of Supervisors meetings in various communities, there is going to be significant costs associated with that, significant notice requirements. And
I don't think that
I don't think there's any problem with somebody showing up at Government Center for a county meeting.
Okay, all I was asking is that we can put, it doesn't mean that we will, but the ordinance would at least put the mechanism in place if at some point we choose to do that. That's what I'm asking. I'm not asking to schedule it. That's my thought. Steve?
I actually think that it really depends on your perspective, where government ought to be present. We've had this experience in terms of delivery of service. For a long time, we had only eligibility work going on in San Andreas. When we dispersed that work to 6 locations in the different towns, many people who had never had any access to county services availed themselves of it. In fact, there was over 100% increase in access to things like mental health in far-off places. Many people, the further you go away from San Andreas, the more disaffected or distant people feel from their government. And there are places a long way from here that really the distances are a barrier for people to see their government in action, however ugly that may be at times. I believe every citizen should have some access to government, and have advocated for a long time that places like Copperopolis and West Point and Arnold, the corners of this county, ought to get a chance to see their board in action up front. I hope we don't provide dog and pony shows. I hope we'll provide good listening to their concerns. And I think we would hear different concerns in different places that we may not right now hear those voices in the measure that they occur in out there in the hinterlands. So I hope this opens a door. Whether we enter it or not, I'm sure will be much debated, but I hope we'll consider the people far, far away as important as those right at hand.
Well, I don't think it opens a door. I think it creates a door that we can choose to use at any time if we deem that it's necessary. You don't know in the future what could happen, but I think if we have an ordinance in place that allows us to do this, then it just sets that door there for us to use. So.
I can give you an example of something that has occurred to me that would be beneficial if we could meet elsewhere. In years past, there was a great deal of animosity that developed between this board and the Tuolumne County Board, and when it has related to some approvals of some significant subdivisions in the Copperopolis area. I get a sense that there still is some, call it an expectation, whether it's reasonable or unreasonable, on the part of Tuolumne County to extract funds from development in the southwestern part of Calaveras County. What I'm visualizing is a joint meeting between Calaveras County supervisors and Tuolumne County supervisors, that because of the rules that apply, that they can't meet outside their county, and we can't meet outside our county, but we could easily use a facility, a floating facility, and it'd be a really a harebrained scheme, but it could cut through.
Right on the line, everybody.
Yeah, you're right. We anchor the thing on the line, and they're on their side of the line, and we're on our side of the line. We have a joint meeting, a historical consequence, and this ordinance would allow that. So, whether it ever comes to pass, but if we get at loggerheads at some future time, this would be an appropriate way to resolve that.
And that could have expedited discussions with Alpine if we'd found the border and had that ordinance. All right, well, interesting.
Interesting perspective. to say the
It's
least.
not a hot item, Counselor. It's just,
All right. Well, taking that one,
I'm
It's
just
turned into
thinking.
one.
I've got the place picked out. It's right by the bridge, so Bonnie can come and she can be right up above the barge, and you can make public comments from there. So. Okay. All right. No, I'm.
Or you can swim up on an inner tube or whatever.
Well, I'm directed to prepare an ordinance and
Yes.
not on an
It's
urgent
not
basis.
an
All right.
emergency basis by any means.
That's good.
I guess, Ginny, you would like us just to keep this item that we put out a week on the
Keep your packet on the tractor.
Yeah, just keep it, so it's one less thing.
To save some paper.
Save some paper. Thank you. Ms. Boyce, do you have anything?
I have nothing to report today.
Mr. Jones?
Wait a minute. Wait. Hold on. Wait. You spent a week in Tahoe and you have nothing to report?
It was a good rest.
Good. Did you bring
Rested
sand?
up for final budget.
Did you bring sand home in your socks or anything?
Oh yeah.
Okay. Item 10 is being canceled, the closed session, and we'll have item 11. This meeting is adjourned. We'll reconvene at 1:30 for a study session.
Both closed sessions?
No, just
Just
10.
9? Just 10?